Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and this is EstelofImladris, the brand new Twitch affiliate channel. Woohoo! Thanks, Ezra. Oh no, that's Puck. Thanks, Puck. So, welcome in, everyone. Today we're gonna be playing a little game night with my good friend Stray. I think is in this corner. Yep, you can see. We'll get there. But a little bit about what's going on. First of all, I am now officially, thanks to all of your enthusiasm and care and watching all of my adventures thus far, I am, as of yesterday, a Twitch affiliate. Even though originally today was supposed to be my Twitch affiliate final stream, Twitch just said, okay, you've done enough. So here we are now, and I see that some of you are already finding my extremely adorable emotes that I've added. I'll get to those in a minute. First of all, it is the holy month of Ramadan, so I'm wishing all of those who celebrate a peaceful and blessed Ramadan. And as a reminder, I stand against the genocide and ethnic cleansing of Palestine and the West Bank, and implore everyone to give what you can to aid organizations trying to care for Palestinians during this difficult and sacred month. Free Palestine and all oppressed peoples of the world. Second of all, you can take action now, both as a Nitro user and as a non-Nitro user of Discord, to push back against their integration, non-optional, of their remix feature, which is an integrated generative AI feature. If you are a Nitro user, you can cancel your Nitro subscription and tell Discord why. And you can also send help requests and upvote and interact with things on their feedback website. I'm going to link a post that has a lot of good information about this. But as most of you probably already know, generative AI is a deteriorative thing that is harming the environment. It harms artists, and so many of us rely on Discord as our main hub of communication, and so for that to be a non-optional thing integrated into all of our servers is really bad. So if you would like to take action against that, by all means, please click the link that I put in chat. And third of all, currently also streaming, and I could not move this stream otherwise I would also be there. If you are interested in community action, and how to take action in your community as an organizer or as a part of a larger organized system, you can go to Tender Vicious Studios right now. Nope, I can't type. Tender Vicious Studios, which I will send a link to in a second. I just can't spell, which is a permanent me problem. And they are currently hosting a how to join community organizing meeting. You can make an activism plan with them right now, and you can tell them I sent you, and then you can come on back here after, because I will probably still be streaming this delightful cat video, or you can catch up on the VOD later. But they are doing this partly to raise awareness of how to organize. It is an important time to take action within your communities, and also because our upcoming show, Lori's House, dropping March 27th, is a show about organizing and being a part of your community. So go check that out and go tell them I say hi. Okay, now for the fun announcements. I cannot stress enough how honored I am that you all have come with me thus far to make me a Twitch affiliate. This means that the ads that you see on the channel, any subscriptions that you might be able to give, or bits that might be given to the channel, now can actually financially support me in the work that I do here, which is only going to make it so that I can do more great things with you all to share content and stories and education about costuming and storytelling. So thank you from the very bottom of my heart. This means so much. Just this last week, to fix the issue that I had my very first week of streaming, I actually had to replace the power supply in my home computer, and that kind of support from being an affiliate will actually be able to help me pay for that kind of maintenance going forward on my system that I depend on so much for all of my work that you all see and stuff that is published with my name. This computer is my livelihood, so thank you. This also means that you get fun things that you can interact with my chat and me. So I've uploaded my maximum 5 free emotes for all of you, so please go whole ham. I have a collection of cute little ravens, because if you don't know, I love ravens, as well as cute black cats, because I love cute black cats. And then sprinkled in there is my my favorite mischievous, troublemaking vampire rogue, Astarion, and hopefully more to come. But you can go check those out, and you can check out all of the wonderful people that made those in my credit section on my About page. And if you subscribe, you can get other cute emotes like this adorable dancing raven that I'm posting in chat that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I should not have been allowed to get. And other fun things that you can do. I've created channel points. The channel points for my channel are, of course, called Corvid points. And my channel points include such wonderful prizes as an accent workout. You can redeem channel points, and I will speak in one of the thousands of accents that I have in the Rolodex of my brain for at least 5 minutes, because it's actually very good for me as a aspiring professional voice actor to constantly keep those accents going. And as a GM, I like using them anyways. So you can put in some Corvid points for that. You also have one. Let's just show us a cat. I promise I will never make my cats appear on stream without their clear consent of being in my lap, basically. But I will show you pictures of my cats otherwise if they're not available. And then, of course, everyone also wants to see my dice. I love dice. Like all of the other wonderful dice goblins of the world, I collect so many dice. So, as you watch my channel, you can accumulate points and redeem those. Those go towards helping me as a channel here on Twitch. And it goes towards you getting great content like pictures of my adorable sons who are menaces. But that is the big update for being an affiliate. If you subscribe, there's also fun subscription badges that you can see next to my name in chat. I got an amazing set that are dice, and I love them. And all of that help goes towards me making more content for all of you and playing games and talking about world building and world building within the games, and some fun upcoming projects that I've kind of started on. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, how about we jump on into Stray? What do you think? Okay, we're gonna go to full screen. Before we get all the way into Stray, a little bit of content warnings and things like that, since this isn't something that comes up often-ish. So at any time, you can type in CW Stray in chat for my custom set of content warnings for Stray in particular. The first and foremost being a lot of people, including myself, when I first started playing this game, wanted to know the all-important question of, does the cat die? Stray is a game where you're playing a cat in a post-apocalyptic world, and the cat is the main character. So, oh my god, Aaron, thank you so much. QCG Aaron of Queen's Court fame just gifted a bunch of subs for the very first time. Thank you, gifting subs to my channel. This is, oh my god, Aaron, you're so nice to me. Wow. Wow, Aaron, you're gonna make me cry. So, Stray, oh god, Aaron, you're so kind to me. Everyone go check out all of the amazing work that Aaron has done over on Queen's Court Games. They've been a wonderful place for me to go and tell wonderful stories with people like Aaron. Stray, content warnings. The big question, does the cat die? Spoilers. It will take me 2 seconds. I'll put my hand down when I'm done saying it, but for those of you who want to go away, the spoiler is about to happen. When my hand comes down, the spoiler will be done. The cat only dies in Stray if you fail a maneuver, and it is automatically recovered and does not die in the narrative of the story, and I've turned off seeing the cat dead in failed attempts at things. So, you've all been warned. Okay, spoiler over. So, that's the big spoiler. Other content warnings for Stray include fantasy violence against an animal, because, again, you're playing a cat, it's an adventure game. There are ooze-like horror creatures. They're very small, they make very silly noises, but they are creepy, and I think to some people would be somewhat disconcerting because they are basically oozes. There is explicit systemic inequality in this game, a lot of it. Police and police violence as we get later on to the narrative, fictionalized substance abuse, scenes of tight and narrow spaces, references to death and dying, apocalypse, and sounds of distress from an animal. If at any point in time any of those become too much for you, I please ask you to go take care of yourself or mute the gameplay and come back for another game. I really appreciate you taking care of yourself because as much as I love this game, I know that there's a lot in it and it can be kind of heavy. But that being said, thank you, Queers and Spears. Let's get started. I'm gonna start a new game because I've beaten this game once, but a very long time ago. So I'm gonna turn off the music. And we're gonna get into it. Look at this cat, everyone. Okay. See, all these slots. I'm starting a new game just for us. Oh. And like all things, I will be talking about world building and the setting of this game. And cats! I lovingly just call this the cat game. Ugh. Ah! Thank you, Jay! Hello! Alright, and here we are. Here's our guy! Look at him! Look at those big eyes, they even flash! Look at this angel. Oh, sorry. I have to move my mouse off the game for a second. Computer has things that it needs. Hi, Jay. Okay, we're back. We're back, everybody. So a little bit. Oh wait, there we go. That was the thing I needed. Perfect. Ooh, I'm listening, Jay. Hit me up, hit me up. Okay, so of course the world of Stray I find so interesting because I think some of the best stories are ones that are told just through experience. And this game is all about experience. You can just do cat things. Experience of being a cat. If you ever want to be so completely overcome by cute cats that have a job, they actually did mocap real cats to do this game, and they're all very cute, and I love them all very much. I'm playing this with my handy dandy Xbox controller, which is the recommended way to play this game, and I agree. All the babies all curled up. Look at them! Look at them! And then it says, you should join your friends. They're all curled up. And that's it. They just want you to interact with other cats. This is how this game opens. So, Stray came out in 2023, I believe. And it was a game that I think most people didn't really know what to expect when they announced it. And then over time, everyone was like, there's so much depth to this game. And to the point where I think it won like 1 million awards. But not only do they just give you, as promised, great cats and beautiful cat content, but the world of this game pulls you in so completely for something made so pretty simply, all things considered. So we are inside the wall. Yeah, you're right, Lena. If it were just hanging out with your cat friends, I would still love this game, honestly. So now we get into the little, like, training beginner part. And every time they have a cinematic moment and they push back into exactly that, you get the little cat saves a black kitty like my boy. Look at him. Okay, anyways. Okay, so they're gonna teach you how to do stuff. I'm trying to remember the yell sound. I think it's... There it is. It's the B button. I can just meow, and they show you the cat goes meow. This is the important things, right, everybody? And the cat does not jump in the water. Will not jump in the water. I just think that that's funny. Look at this baby. Hello. Everything needs a dedicated meow button. Meow. If I start doing that, though, my cats have been meowing all day. So we just go and play. Yeah, there. They want you to know. You can meow. It's very important. Look at this baby. And you can... Oh, hop. Kitty hop. Oh, I can go scratch on the tree. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to actually scratch. So I just think it's very funny that they do this because I don't know how much you know about cat behavior, but scratching is so specific because it is for so many reasons. But part of it is that it is a marking. There we go. It wants me to go faster. This serves no mechanical purpose. I just want you to all know. But now everyone knows that that tree belongs to me. What's all this? Rocks? Yes. A cat indeed has been spotted. Him drink. Very important for cats to drink water. They are prone to urinary tract infections, so the more water a cat should drink, the better. Not that this water is probably that great for you, but, you know. Oh, yes. Thank you, Lena. Oh, alright. So now, we have our first redemption of the accent workout. And so, I'll be doing this with my Scottish accent for a little while. It's supposed to last about 5 minutes. We'll see how long I remember to do it. But, thank you, Luigi, man. So, we've got this great, cute little cat who is running around. I forget how to run, though. Funny thing about this accent, I never thought I'd use it for anything, but I decided to learn it anyways. And now I use it all the time. It is lovingly called my little guy accent because, I don't know, there's something about my voice in a Scottish accent. It's just fun. I believe this barrel rolls, or at least a barrel rolls. Huh. I don't remember. But I do remember how to do that. Ooh, what's that? Human personnel only. Well, I'm a cat, so obviously they're supposed to let me in. Yeah. Oh. To chain jumps, hold A. I remember how to do that. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good, cat hops. Do. I don't remember how to run. I'm sure that will be important at some point. Yeah, see, a human will open a door if you wait long enough. My cats have to be... I've built in what I call the aviary door system in my house because my cats will just not be contained. And so I will open a door and I will make it impossible for them to go to the next door. And so I can take them out where I don't want them to be. Oh, look at these good cats. There we go. Running is the trigger button. That's the one. Alright, look at how beautiful this is. Left trigger to observe. Ooh, barbed wire. Got some hanging metal. This seems fine. Alright. Come on, you. Bonk. Cats weigh so little. Bonk. Here we are. Alright. As a warning, things do get a little perilous for a moment, but it's gonna be alright. I promise. It does make me sad. You will hear a noise that you won't like. No. Oh. No. So sad. Don't worry, everyone. Meow. I still have my meow button, so I'm fine. Meow. Yes, the cans broke the fall. That's definitely it. Oh, he's limping. Look at him. Meow, sad meow. No. No, little cat. No. Ignore that. That's my brother. Yep, that's the signs of distress. As promised. There's very few, I feel like, in a game where there could be a lot more. So, and there's the weird little ooze guys. So now you've seen them. And now you know. They're bad. We don't like them. Oh. Yes, stop and groom. It's very important. Oh, we've slept long enough that we stopped limping. Alright. Sad meow. Meow. No. Alright, we're speeding up. We're alright. We're alright. Trash? Is there food for Kitty in the trash? Meow. Door opened. Oh, door's cracked open. Alright, let's go. Alright. Here's the good stuff. The dead city. Alright. That was a fun accent workout. Thank you for that. So, welcome to one of my favorite parts about this game, and something that when it first was advertised, I did not know, but I had already, I already had a fascination with the source material for this. So if you don't know, Stray's design is based on a real place that existed until the 1990s called Kowloon, the Walled City. It was in, it was a part of the wider area of Hong Kong. Oh, there's those guys. And it was possibly the densest population place in the world. And I, for my grad school thesis project, I did Snowpiercer, and that was the first place that I heard of it, because I was researching people living in small spaces. and of course it came up. It has been the inspiration for many things in media, but the thing about it was that it was many generations of building and growth, just straight up. They capped it at 13 or 14 stories because of the flight path of the nearby airport. But the walled city was hello camera, was this very dense place. Like, this is a very wide boulevard for Kwoloon. But the idea was that it was a place that built straight up and through winding small paths and things like that, and it is stated to be a inspiration for the game. And I can get more into that in a bit, but for now we're gonna do cat stuff. Bottles and cans. I hear something. Oh, that's right, the light's turning on. There they are again. You'll notice that that is not a human. That is, in fact, a robot. Yes, Kowloon got torn down in... it was demolished over the span of a year. I took a bunch of notes because I was like, I want to get this right. It was demolished over the span of a year from 1993 to 1994, but not before being used as a film set for a Jackie Chan movie, interestingly enough. So if you want to see like actual footage of Kowloon at the end of its time, the Jackie Chan 1993 movie Crime Story was actually filmed there once people had been evacuated. Some of them had been, I mean, they were all offered money by the government. You know how this goes. And some people took the money and some people didn't. But everyone was either voluntarily or forcefully evacuated by the end of 1993. And now it's a park. It's a very beautiful park. And they actually found, they kept some pieces of some of the like really ancient architecture because it used to be a military base. Help, says the sign. But it lives in the memory of many people, including me. And there are like multiple exhibits about it, but this version of it is also so much about who we become at the end of the world. Bucket. Cat has bucket. Doesn't every cat need a bucket? Ah, right. It actually serves a purpose, this bucket. Because in its heart of hearts, Stray is a puzzle game, which I love. I love puzzle games. And now to just do cat stuff. Hope there's no one down there. Oop. Bye, bucket. Again. Oh. Now we have enough room to jump. Or we can knock down the rest of the buckets. I think we knocked down the rest of the buckets. Boom. Meow. Oh. What? What are you trying to tell? Oh, right. I love designed camera angles where they're like, you should be looking this way. Like this one, where they say, here's a bucket. You know that those are windows, so do something about it. No, better. Work harder. The cat dream. Destruction because it makes sense to me, the cat. Look at you can leave paw prints from walking in the paint. Look at them. I'm gonna do it again. I'm making art, everyone. Oh, don't worry. There are plenty more cat-like behaviors. Like, what is this? Oh, let me just scratch on this rug. And it makes you, the human, do this. To make sure that you feel like you're scratching. And I just love that. That's it. That's the whole point of that. It serves no other purpose. Which is enough purpose for me. Oh, look. A ledge. Oops. How did... Oh no. I've done it again. What if I... Oh, oop. More things. I love this language. To my understanding, it's like it was somewhat based on Korean, but don't quote me on that. Oh my god, can I knock all of those down too? Oh god, no. Kai, focus. We're supposed to be on a mission. Look we're thirsty. Because we're a kitty and we're working so hard. Meanwhile, this poor person on the other side of these signs are like, please hurry. Bucket? I am cat. No, let me in. Bucket? Cat in bucket. Perfect game. No notes. And then... Ah! They see me. No, no. Oh, this is a little creepy. This poor guy. That cat just killed a man. There's an arrow. Alright, I believe there's a lot of running in this part. It does autosave. But this is one of the, like, few perilous parts, if I remember correctly, and I might fuck it up. You've all been warned. Yeah, so here they come. I'm sorry in advance. The weird ooze guys, they're here. Yeah, you're right, Cat. We should run. And you have to avoid them, and they will jump on you. And if they pile on you, you do die. No. No, absolutely not. No, no. Nope. No, no. No, no. No, 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 no. Get off of me. No, 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 no. No, thank you. We're going, we're going, we're going, we're going, we're going, we're going, we're going. It's happening, it's all happening. Oh God. We're clear, we did it. We're safe, everybody. And then the cat's like, oh, did something happen? Because cats have the funniest memory. They want you to know. You can meow. Oh, ramen. You can't just show me that game. Excuse me, Potts, you're in the way. I'm a cat, thank you. I love puzzle games. I'm so weak for them. Hope no one cared about that. Where does this go? There. Hey, don't fall. We already did this once. Let's see. Is there anything in here that I want to look at? It's cat time. Yeah, Aaron's talking about how they really want you to, how they're using the like in-universe signage and things to move you through the story. And there's actually a really cool reason for it that I cannot wait to get to. Because Aaron, I am so excited that you are enjoying this for the first time. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Oh, hop. More signage. And hop. Laundry room. Well, cats can't read, but fascinating that it says October 11th. This is the thing I was thinking about. Because I would like to get up there. Oh, that's right, when you meow, the lights actually guide you in this part of the game as to where to go. So much of this game is about just looking around the environment. And like, you'll notice that even though there's no one living here, there's all this technology. Oop, camera, you just jumped. That was weird. There's all this amazing technology that is clearly still supposed to be running. And they don't explain it to this point as to why. Yeah. Aaron, this is a very intelligently designed game. So welcome to the joy of Stray. I am so in the sauce about this game. Okay, so we're here. But where are we trying to go? Ah, down. Look at that. There's a down here. Oh. I hear something. Okay, that's that one. Still trying to guide me that direction. Cameras. Bottles. No. No. Oh, kitty, it's okay. We're okay. Okay, good. It says go this way anyways. Thank you, sign. Look at everybody, it's okay. Now, where do I go? Up? Ah, yes. Gotta push this. Go! Can I just hop down? Yeah, I can. Woo! Hop. Oh. So just the feeling of this game also reminds me of one of my absolute favorite extremely existential movies, which is the Russian film Stalker about magical realism in Chernobyl. There's also a video game based on it. There's a bunch of other things, but it's this like slow meditation on what it means for everything to be strange and unknown. Hello, Valiant Dorian. We're meowing. Hello, camera following me. What do you want from me? Oh, you want me to go that way? It is a perfect game. And we go up. And up again. Oh, and up again before the sign falls. I love that this cat just leaves wanton destruction behind. But it's a cat, like, it's not a problem. Also, all of this is just left to ruin anyways. Spinny fan Y. What are you? What if I unplug you, fan? Because this cat understands electrical currents. Electrical. Whatever. No one look at me. Okay, here we go. Cat jump. Cat jump down. It took away my battery for reasons that will matter in a little bit. I brought that battery in here one of the times I played this game. And it confused the game a little, so we won't be doing that again. Need help. That camera's nodding at me, everybody. How do I help you? By scratching on your rug? I think that's helpful. Ooh. Perilous hopping? This is clearly a pedestal for cat. Oh. Okay. The most helpful of creatures. Body required for... Hey, I'm a cat. Like, I don't know what you think I can do for you, but, that is what it looks like when a cat stands on your keyboard. I love this game. But again, like, every inch of this game is just full of details, gorgeous information about the world. Like, this nostalgia for beautiful open places is a recurring theme in this game. Look at these old computer towers. Floppy drives. Ugh. Old open hard drives. And this room. The things I could do in this room. I'm trapped, but I'm just a guy. Hello? I love this puzzle. I love puzzle games. So, they want you to walk around this room having seen... Oh, no, cat, get down. Real life problems. Having seen that one outlet. And do the math that these batteries that are scattered around the room in different places need to be removed. I don't remember how to get to that one. We'll get there. No? Must have to go... Oh, you know what? There's like a rolling thing, isn't there? Hello, I'm cat. Don't just nod at me. it's just a little guy. Oh yeah, if I had to give... I will say, I do give my cats treat puzzles. And even though I lovingly joke that Watson is maybe the dimmest creature on this earth, he's very good at treat puzzles. And he's not even that food motivated, but he loves a puzzle. I've also trained Watson to sit and roll over, which someday I'll have to show you all. And he just did it because he wanted to. Because I don't think I could have trained him otherwise. Okay, so there's a battery there. Oh, there's a battery right here. Use your kitty brain. Oh, yeah. No, you must feed your cat Aaron or they will rise up. That's the rule. Okay, that's 2 batteries. That's the 3rd one. I'm missing one. Looking for battery. Looking for the bright spots. Try it from a different angle. Just looking for all the bright spots. I'll go get that one at least. No, we've done this. Shush. There's the cart that I needed to move. Oh, there's the battery. Right. I'll take that. Thank you very much. One more. Do. Mine. We've done it. We've powered up the thing. And now, my friend. Look at him. I love how existential and strange this game is. Hello, friend. I jumped on his head. Oh, God. Oh, the humanity. Drone companion. I have friend. Where's his station? It's up here. Look at him go. Oh no. If Rigby had that happen to him, he would have leapt into the air and vanished. I know, look at this small little robot. It's a friend. Hello, best friend. Yeah, that's how you know it's a real cat. You've killed it after all that. I don't understand you, because you're a robot and I'm a cat. It worked. I'm free. Thank you. Couldn't believe the cameras. A cat in the dead city. I'm I can't remember my name. It seems my memory is corrupted. I've been trapped in the electronic network for so long. It is a significantly nicer oracle. I know I worked for a scientist who lived here. For now, you can call me B12. That's what it says on my exterior. I will be reading these in case people are watching on smaller screens and cannot read. It's dangerous in the Dead City, but you seem like you know how to handle yourself. Let's get out of here. Follow me. On that, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause. And take us over here. So that was the first leg of our adventure through the Dead City. B12 is my son. And yeah, I hope you all are enjoying the game as much as I am. I love this game so much. But the slow walk through the Dead City is just the most inviting and fascinating way to enter the world of this game, especially given how bright the opening is. And they lead you in. It's like learning how to walk again, but also like within the world and within the context of the game. I just really love the design of this game. Yeah, that's the first half of our stream. I think I'll probably play a lot more of this game with all of you. I'm really enjoying it. But in the meantime, we're going to go on a break in a couple of minutes. I will not be reading B12 with the Uwu voice. That will not be happening, but B12 is my beloved child, and nothing could ever convince me otherwise. And yeah, everyone, why don't you get up, stretch your legs, pet your pets, especially cats, and we will be back in a couple minutes. See you in about 10 minutes. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is my very first hype train. Thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing and hopping in. I am so overwhelmed. Everyone's being so nice to me. I hope you all had a nice break, got up, stretched a little, got more to drink. I swear this cola was full when I sat down, but I cannot be trusted with a beverage. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but whenever I'm in a game, I just sit and suck down the closest beverage to me. It's worse when I'm GMing. I have like massive containers that I purchased specifically so that I can not refill it for an hour and a half. Yeah, I love beverage. So yeah, welcome back, everybody. We're playing Stray. We've just met B12. For those of you who don't know, Stray is a post-apocalyptic adventure where you are a cat traversing this massive city. Well, thank you nonetheless, Iskaros and Aaron, for hopping in, supporting me on my Twitch streaming cat adventure today, among other adventures, talking all about world building. And speaking of, before we get back in, I just wanted to go a little bit deeper into Kowloon, the walled city that the world of Stray is based on. As I will be doing for a lot of games like this, where there is a lot of specific touchstones. I like to do a little bit of prep in advance just to make sure I have all my things in a row. But with specifically Kwoloon, the thing about it is that it's a very fascinating place in the first place. It is a place that has been a military outpost both a refuge from and kind of a thorn in the side of colonial rule, because Hong Kong, as most of you probably know, thank you for the subscription. Oh my gosh. I'm just overwhelmed. Everyone's being so nice. So Kowloon was a military outpost, a refuge from colonial rule, and so many other things. A bastion of crime, a city entirely policed by itself, and it has had such a long and interesting history. Being conquered, being the seat of uprisings from within, places that literally Britain ruled Hong Kong for many, many, many years, and they could never actually get a foothold in specifically this one small area, because it was so dense, and like there were multiple versions of it, but there's been like villages there, and all kinds of very like old Chinese, just like people who have dug in and just not been able to be moved. And until they literally tore it down in the 90s. It took so long. But it was, as I said before, at its peak, thought to be about 7 acres and 33,000 people lived there. It was limited to 13 or 14 stories, depending, because some of the stories were shorter, and some of them were taller. Because it was in the flight path from Kai Tak Airport. And the way that it was built is very fascinating, because the older buildings at the bottom were just built on top of. And so the way that we see it in Stray, and most of the like famous interpretations of it, come from basically everything after the 1960s, when people started to build just straight up, and architects came in and built newer structures literally just like over the old ones. So what we're seeing here in Stray is the bottom layer, the old structures of this city, the dead city in the setting of Stray. And then over time, the newer construction in Kowloon was higher and higher up. And so that's where you're going to find newer technology, people who maybe have more because they could have asked for it to be built a certain way instead of just cobbling it together, which there was cases of. There have been multiple fires there, etc. And finally, the Chinese and British governments agreed in 1987 to demolish the walled city, and it took a long time, a lot of compensation given to the residents there, debatably not enough, but it was enough that many of them did relocate voluntarily, and then the ones that weren't were just fully taken out and evicted by the governments. And before, like I said earlier, before that they fully evicted and like demolished the area, they did let a movie film there, and I have watched footage of it. It's very, very fascinating to see this like empty boulevard, where I think there's like explosions and stuff in there, but it's a 1993 Jackie Chan movie called Crime Story, and then they demolished it, I think before the movie actually even came out. They demolished what was left of the walled city. And now it is a beautiful park with monuments to the land's history, dating all the way back to pieces that were discovered when it was like an outpost. So yeah, I really, really like that Stray dug deep for something interesting, and there are references and pieces of Kowloon that exist today in a lot of modern media, especially ones that are about systemic oppression and people living in very tight spaces. And if you look at other interpretations of people living in tight spaces, you'll see there are references to quite a few places that maybe have like shared housing and things like that. But if you see people living tightly stacked one on top of the other in like interesting architecture that is clearly like put together not at the same time, there's a decent chance that it is based on the Walled City. So yeah, that's a little bit about the real world inspiration for the setting. But on that note, since y'all know me, I could talk forever. Let's go back to our game, shall we? All right. Music, go away. All right, so we've now gotten our boy. That key unlocks the door. I remember that much. Let me get that for you. A helper. Very good. Oh. And of course now my captions are making it so that you all can't see everything. Battery low already, bud. You just got here. Come over here. Ugh, one of my favorite parts of this game. You're going to have to put this on. Have you ever tried to put clothing on a cat before? I have. Yep, that cat, never moving again. Let me move. Oh wait, I have to do the awkward belly crawl. How do I exist in this? This is an indignance. Look at this cat. He doesn't want this. I die here. Tragic overhead camera. Chalk outline on the ground. Cats, the most dramatic creatures, and I love them so much. Ugh. Okay. New friend, why did you do this to me? I'll just die. I do not make him do that, by the way. He just falls over. Thanks, I'm glad it was. This says, this backpack was designed for small quadrupeds like you. Sure. Is this uncomfortable for you? Meow. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. I don't know. I've digitized the key and stored it in the backpack. This cat now has a bag of holding. We're gonna look at what's in the inventory. Keys! Great! Easy. If you're ever curious about an object, you can show it to me. Or to others, if we come across any. I would also like to think that it was invented for raccoons. Now let's get outside of this flat. Let's go. Alright. Open. Thank you, B12. Use key. I can now go through human doors. Torchlight. Do. Oh yes, and for those of you who have just joined us, I forgot to do this before I dove all the way back in. My apologies. Oh, content. Thank you, Nightbot. Content warnings for Stray include fantasy violence against animals, ooze-like horror creatures, explicit systemic inequality, police and police violence, fictionalized substance use, scenes of tight and narrow spaces, references to death and dying, apocalypse, and sounds of distress from an animal. Use !stray to view these at any time, and I'll try and always have these for games that we are playing together. And we're through a lot of the really bad stuff for a little while. Now we're just gonna go explore. I'm pretty sure that there are not more guys for a minute. Oh, right, there's a code. There's a code in here somewhere. Code! Okay, well... Can't read that. Code is... 3748. I love puzzle games. Use code 3748. Oh my gosh, thank you, Vault Companions. Oh my gosh! I have 10 subscribers. Holy cow. That's huge. Wow. This was not how I thought today was gonna go. You guys are amazing. Thank you so, so much. This is, it's gonna be so helpful with all of your ongoing support. So thank you. Your subscriptions, either through Prime or gift subscriptions or through subscribing on your own, all means so much to me. It's a hard world out there, and I just love you all so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, you do get really cute animated emotes out of it. I did fully forget what the code is, though. 3748. Oh my gosh. Thanks, James V. Wow, look at this place. I can't. Your talk bubble's in the way, man. That elevator in the distance. That's important, I think. I know we need to go up. So now they've given us direction of where to go next. Because you can see city lights up there. Way, way up there. But in the meantime, we have to get through the dead city. So let's go. Let's see where this bucket takes us. Whee! Cat ziplining. Oh no. Look at them all. That's so bad. Makes me really wonder what the apocalypse was that hit this world, because they only kind of get into it because of the perspective of being a cat. Nope, we're leaving. I don't want to look at that too long. That felt bad. Wait, I remember the outside. I feel like I've been there before. Is this where you came from? I promised someone I would go there. Promised who? This postcard. The mural was painted from it. Let's take it. Gained new item. Postcard. Why do I have these memories? How did they get there? Let's keep going. So, you gain memory records to slowly unlock the story of this world. And I love a story of profound longing in a very sad world. There's a house symbol down there. I hear them. I hear them. I don't like that. I thought we were done with them, but maybe we're not for a little while. What does this say? B12? Safe zone. Away from that. I'm glad they make goofy noises, though. Oh, no, that's right. We gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. No, 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 no. It didn't let me go. You're supposed to let me move, game. It's okay. Everything's fine. The game reassures you with the sound of purring that everything's fine. Alright, here we go. We're gonna jump out of the bucket and actually run. Right, controller? Don't. No! Why are you stopping to look? Why are you stopping? Oh, because I'm pushing the wrong button. This is a me problem. This is a user error, everybody. I'm pushing the left paddle instead of the right because, again, I have funny dyslexia. Not detrimental in a meaningful way, but it's the right paddle, everybody. It's this one. This is my right hand. I kept on thinking right and pushing the wrong one. Yeah, look at my silly little goo guys. Okay, here we go. I remember how to run now, everybody. We made it. We're clear. We're safe. We get to meet guys now. We are now in the slums. We've made it through the dead city. All right. It's okay, man. I'm just a cat. No, why are you? But I'm just a little guy. Hello? No, I'm just a guy. Hello? No, it's okay, really. Oh. Hey, everybody. But I'm a cat. I love the character design of this game so much. Hello? I am baby. B12, help me. I don't speak whatever language you're speaking, bud. They seem to have their own language. The Guardian says, "You're no Zurk." And they have the Guardian being translated through B12, who can clearly speak cat. We're not familiar with your kind. So I've never seen a cat before. Guardian. You are welcome in our village as long as you don't eat anyone. Okay. I know, that's so tragic. I love them all so much. I love them all so much. Hello. You look lost. What do you need? Postcard? I show postcard? Oh, a picture of the outside. Ridiculous. This elevator isn't operational. Everyone knows that it is impossible to leave this place. Well, except the outsiders. But they're all gone now. Except Momo. You can try to talk to him if you want, but he gave up on trying to leave. It's for the best. He lives high up in that building with the orange neon sign. Don't hesitate to call me at any time. I'm here to help. The Guardian told us to talk to Momo up in the big building with the orange neon sign. He's the only lead we've got for getting out of here. Hello, I'm here to do cat things. Very important. Hello. You gave us such a fright. We thought you were a Zurk, which are the little squishy, oozy guys. Oh god, Lena, that hurts. We don't need to show them that. Who are you? You really thought you'd take the elevator? I've never seen that thing work, and I'll be 374 years old tomorrow. Oh, there's a bunch of people in here. Johan. Oh, we're in meditation. Angela, why go up there? There's nothing there. Now I'm just doing cat stuff. Hello, I'm Cat, the Guardian. He doesn't have another name, which I think is red. Hello, Gardener Man. Do they have TV heads as this Saga? Well, I often think of Saga when I think of the designs of these guys. For those of you who don't know, Saga is an amazing comic series where there's a character named Prince Robot who is what he sounds like and he has a TV for a head. I take care of the plants. The humans improved them so much. Now they require very little light. Thank you, Roshi. Just add a bit of water and look how big they get. It really is an amazing technology. I want my plants to do that. Oh, one of my favorite parts of this game. Hello. Hello, I'm a musician, but I don't have any songs. I don't have any songs yet. There's a safe. Show me the numbers. Oh. Oh, this is the same dialogue about the Guardian telling us to talk to Momo. I pushed the wrong button. Nope, wrong one. I want this. Safe's mysterious password. Show B12. It's written, follow the numbers, but it looks like a binary language, a succession of zeros and ones. We must be able to decipher this code in one way or another. It is probably related to the safe. So we gotta find a code cracker. What's the box? Oh. Cat stuff. Oh god. I can't... I'm not trying to walk in circles. I swear I'm trying to walk the right direction. How do I... Abort! Help! Help! Oh no. Okay. I'm free, everybody. Why did the world go dark? A cowboy robot. The marketplace. Hello. I am the merchant of the market. You give me something, I'll give you something in exchange. It's as simple as that. This is an ancient relic, a testament to the talent of our ancestors. It will cost you 3 energy drink cans. I can't do less. Fascinating. Electric cable. Sheet music. This is a music sheet, a masterful piece of art of a very renowned artist. It'll cost you 1 energy drink can. I can't do less. So we traded energy drink cans here. We're fortunate to have these items to help us defend against the Zurks. The slums has its threats and preparation is key. You're right. A bucket. That, yeah, my price is also in energy drinks, actually. Okay, so now we're gonna go meet more people. Ooh, open trash can. That seems like a trap. A surgery? Please don't act like a child. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna leave. I don't like that. Hello. Those guys better not drop a paint bucket again or else Cosmo will be ticked off. Oops. Sorry. I don't know who would have done that. Gotta go. Ooh, hello. May I please enter your store? I am Cat. Are you one of the troublemakers playing with paint buckets on the roof? No? Why would you think that? Keep your paint away. I'm tired of cleaning up my stoop because of your mess. I'm sorry. My bee. Those beer cans or energy drink cans? Beer cans. Oh, hi, Sam. The Sam Star is in our chat, everybody. Love you so much. Welcome to Cat Times. Doing cat stuff. Let's see where this goes. Oh, hi, friend. Why are you dropping paint buckets down there? Careful, I need to focus. I don't want to drop another bucket. You're literally throwing them off the roof. Where are we? Why are you doing this? Hello? Hello? Please don't bother Vapora. She's so clumsy. Oh no. Okay, but why do you all need this much paint? I have so many questions. Right, I'm supposed to be going up. I'm supposed to be going to go meet Momo. I got distracted by world building. Ventilation power supply. Let's not screw with that. There's my orange sign. Okay. Oh. Sorry, everybody. I'm just a cat. Oh, there's a thing here. Hello. I don't... I'm just curious. That's a lot of paint. Alright. So we got a bucket that we can use to get up there. But it's gotta run somehow. Oh, there's a thing over here. We're just gonna jump and jump. Nope, wrong way. Jump up. Yeah. Hey, friend. The circles of light are pleasing to watch, but I want to see the real sky one day. Ugh. Yep. Oh, that makes me so sad. Hi, Momo. Oh my god, I love Momo. An icon. Truly. Don't worry, Momo. It's never going to work. Why did I let them go? I'm all alone now. Hey, what do you want? Outsiders. So he's being really normal. I'm glad that the Guardian is completely upfront about how that's going. Thanks for the follow, Sam. Got all kinds of equipment. Oh. Not another bag. Nope, I don't like this. I've turned it off. I win! I love the plants in this game. Oh wait, I'm supposed to show him something, aren't I? What do you want? Showing him the postcard. This is a picture of the outside? Do you want to go out there? Well, don't bother. It's a waste of time. It will bring you only loneliness and despair. My friends had this dream too, but now they're gone and I'm all alone. I don't know where they ended up. I tried to contact them, but that, blank blank transceiver doesn't work. My friends and I took notes of our research about the outside. Here, take mine if you really want to go out there. Thanks, Momo. You're on your own. I'm done with the outside. Good luck. Momo seems very sad. He misses his friends. Let me check the notebook he gave us. Ugh. The Outsider's Manifesto. We must go outside at any cost. We must protect our brothers and sisters. We must stay away from the Zurks. It is signed Clementine, Zabaltazar, Doc, and Momo. It's like Momo's name was added later. I think we should find the other notebooks. You are correct. cat toy. My door now. Why do you have a cat toy, Momo? These people haven't even heard of cats. And yet. Not putting my head in another bag. You can't trap me. Yeah. Listen, the cats in this game are for real. We scratch good. Okay. Oh. I can go through here. Let's see. Storage room, huh? Oh, what's this? Sheet music! That's a great way to end this. We're gonna go visit the musician guy. As soon as I can make sure that I don't have anything else I'm supposed to get in here. In Momo's very sad, lonely den. Back home. Oh, back home too. I remember this video game. It was made just after I was created, I think. I can't remember it well. The scientist and I spent a lot of time playing it. It was fun. I miss him. Why can't I remember his name? Well, Momo, it's been real. You're a weird guy. The symbol on the wall matches the one on the notebook. Oh yeah, so it does. Seems like a lead. You're right. Bucket! Let me in the bucket. Wow. Don't see anyone in here now. Oop. Clementine's notebook. An outsider notebook. It's the same logo as the one Momo gave us. This one seems to belong to someone named Clementine. Everything is going according to plan. We've managed to contact the upper level before the transceiver went down. They are in a place called Midtown, and apparently it's controlled by some kind of oppressive force. Thanks, Varric. I talked to Momo earlier. His eyes. I know this look. He will not come with us. Let's find the other notebooks. So now we have Clementine. What's this? I think this is more sheet music. Yeah. So Clementine is gone, which is why that apartment is empty. Can I hop down from here? I can. There's 1,000 ways to traverse some of these places. I'm doing something, game. Don't bother me. So I wanted to get to one of my favorite parts of this game. Hello, I'm a musician, but I don't have any songs. Well, you do now, bud. Petite Valse. Sounds cool. Here, watch that. Oh, thanks for the sub, Barrick. Well, thank you everyone for going on this adventure into Stray with me. If you're liking Stray, or any of the other games I've played so far, please go and, oh, that ends really abruptly when I pause that. Let's go over here. Thank you, Stray. That's the wrong one. I want that one. Please go and vote for what games you'd like to see me play. Over in my Google form that I set up there for game poll, it has this and a few other games. So far I've played Marvel Rivals, a little bit of Hades 1, a little bit of Stray. If you're liking any of that, please continue to vote for those. I will eventually reset that poll. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna go with the top polled ones, unless there's a game in particular I specifically want to play that week. But it was Hades and Stray at the very top, so I've played one of each now. It's been a really good time. You can also suggest other games for me to play there. And yeah, you can also suggest topics you want to see me cover in both just like a chatting stream or in my ongoing series about costuming and storytelling called Seems Right. As I've been celebrating all stream, this is my first stream as a Twitch affiliate, and you guys have absolutely blown me away with your immediate support and subscriptions. I've never had a hype train before, and that happened today, so I am completely blown away. So thank you so much for supporting me so far and for all these subscriptions and everything. It has been absolutely incredible. As I said at the top, your support helps me do more of this and continue to create content that is geared towards educating about world building and talking about the craft of costuming and storytelling, and also just enjoying playing games and vibing. I love Stray. Oh my gosh, Sam. Thank you. And it is my sincere pleasure to do this with all of you. So thank you for the warm welcome into the world of Twitch streaming. And yes, if you subscribe, as Scarlett is showing everyone, there's really cute little emotes, because I love corvids. So there's really cute corvids, and some other chaotic choices of emotes that I've added in there. And black cats. I have fun channel points called Corvid points that you can renew. Over time, I will start to raise those, but I figured to celebrate having them, I would start with the numbers pretty low. And yeah, so that's Stray, and that's some of the new fun stuff on the channel for making affiliate, and I am completely blown away. So yes, come back soon. I'll get into that in a second. For more, probably Stray for the next game night. I'm going to continue to try and do 2 streams a week. I'm liking the pace of it. It is suiting me. I'm going to try and once my schedule settles out a little more, I've got some unseen projects that have been recording and things that I've been writing and working on. So my schedule's a little chaotic, but I hope you all bear with me as I adjust the time around to suit all of that. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule. So I have not set my screaming schedule. I've not set my screaming schedule. You should schedule your screaming though. I have not set my streaming schedule for next week while I figure out some logistics and details of things. So stay tuned. But when I do come back, I will. You can check out my social media for any information about that. And then you can follow me for my series Seems Right, which, as I said before, is about costuming and storytelling. The next upcoming episode I have planned is a costuming case study using Dungeons and Dragons to talk about how you can integrate costuming as storytelling in your TTRPG adventures using the game that everyone plays, that dragon game. And then also I have one planned about cosplay. And then you can keep coming back for more game nights where I'll continue to talk about world building and storytelling while I play video games and chill with everybody. You can find me on Saturday over on Transplanted RPG with the Chaos Protocol, playing Mr. Zanin-ish with Strike Team Nova, regrouping after some devastating news and new answers about the mysteries of Inferno, so you can stay tuned for that on Saturday. And then on Tuesday next week, it will be the finale of my series using Mouse Ritter over on Happy Jack's RPG called What About Bobs? And it has been a cozy, mousy time over there where we all play mice because that's how Mouse Ritter works. And so it will be the final hurrah to Bob and Lure and our adventuring mousy party. So join us over there on Tuesday, and then more Transplanter in the coming days. And then some upcoming stuff, as I said at the top, and I hope that a bunch of you did tune in. You want to see a cat? Are you sure? I'll be right back. Give me just like literally half a second. Are you cozy? You don't want to come over here? No. Rigby's sitting right here, and he's like, no, you cannot make me. It's fine. I'll show you a picture of a cat. Give me a moment. I'll continue to spiel while I do that. So, as I said at the top, the upcoming show that I've been working on with Tender Vicious Studios, Lori's House, drops on March 27th. And it is a Home We Remember actual play. Oh, ad time. No! Don't worry, I will hold. A Home We Remember actual play, Lori's House, which we've been working on for 2 years, is finally about to come out on March 27th. It is going to be in podcast form. I don't know why it searched birthday when I said cat. That's fine. Here's a good one. Okay. I wish I could hold cat, but I promised the cats that I would do no forceful showing of cats. And then on top of that, I am very excited to announce that I will be on a few panels at WonderCon here in Southern California from Friday, March 28th to March 30th, where I will be paneling with a bunch of other incredible tabletop creators. And you're back from ads, and as promised, I give you Cat. Look at him. Look at that sweet angel face. Watson's a sweet angel baby. Him perfect. I can't believe he's gonna be 15. Good cat break. No, he's you could hear the wind blowing between his ears in this picture. And he's perfect. Okay. Plenty of that. yes, you can come find me over at WonderCon in Southern California if you are around or able to make it. I will be on a few panels that I will announce as they are announced with other great tabletop creatives talking about all kinds of topics that are hopefully relevant to all of you. And yeah, that's it for me for today. So thanks y'all for hanging out, enjoying some Stray with me, talking about the walled city that inspired it, and I will see you all. Stay tuned for the raid. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.